Okay, so we're talking about an ATO that has commonly been called or referred to as a hammer play, and had the good fortune of working with Darvin Ham for the last 9 years. And he had a pretty amazing 12-year NBA career and was a special player, and coaches used him in lots of different unique ways.
The hammer play essentially is a misdirection play.
Oh, the hammer play. Well, it was something when I was playing in Milwaukee, so I was a defensive, offensive rebounding, dunking machine. We had shooters all around me: Sam Cassell, Ray Allen, Glenn Robinson, Tim Thomas, Michael Redd. So we didn't need anybody else shooting threes. So I found my little niche, and George just came up with this play. I'd be messing. He'd post me up sometimes, and he saw that I could make pretty good reads out of the post. And so one day, I think we're in Indiana, I want to say, and he just drew up the play, man, out of the ATO. And it was meant we go one way, make a spin move, because when I would get it in the post, I'd spend some time, go finish, or spend some time, spin one time, hit somebody on a slash or space who were space for a three. And Ray, every time I get offensive rebounds anyway, I would look for Ray, just kick us, because when you get offensive rebound, the defense has a tendency to drop their shoulders, relax, or get disappointed. So in that little quick split second, I find my shooters. So George drew it up and baseline, and even said, you gotta jump out of bounds, jump out of bounds. I had big hands, I could palm the ball, so jumping out of bounds gave me more time. I was athletic, so I had pretty good hang time. A lot of people, they call it hammer, and my name's Ham. The Hammer's play names after you? It's named after you? I'm like, yeah, I'm Hammer, you don't get it? But I'm humbled by it, man. It's something that came from the wits of a great coach in George Karl, and I'm just happy that I was one half of it, me and Ray Allen.
And George Karl drew this up for me. We would have these plays and have these huge hands, and I had good hands. I would always draw a crowd, whether I went hard to drive to the basket, or he'd post me sometimes and make a quick spin move or whatever. We had 3 20-point scores, and Sam Cassell, Ray Allen, Big Dog, eventually Michael Redd, Tim Thomas, another great player. The whole league anticipated him drawing up something for them, so every now and again I got a chance to get me a play thrown in there.
Ham goes into the corner, Glenn Robinson baseline jumper.
His style, a perfect fit here in Cleveland.
Semi Ojeleye has checked in for the first time in 3+ weeks. How about from the corner?
It's a baseline drive. There tends to be help from the weak side anytime you drive baseline, and that bottom weak side offensive player pens in on a shooter that kind of baseline drive, baseline drift to the corner.
You see it's initiated on the first side, and then it goes to a second side just to set up the action, the off-ball action on the third side. It goes over Iverson, what we call an Iverson cut, drives hard, and I would jump out of bounds sometimes to make that pass.
You guys are seeing the example of the Milwaukee Bucks running it here, and a little bit unique or different in that Pat Connaughton, who would be considered a smaller guy, a guard, screening or hammering for a 4-man. So you can do it with different guys. Darvin is obviously more of a 4 screening, I think, for Ray Allen and Big Dog and Sam Cassell and guys like that. But you can flip up, whether it's a small guy pinning for a big or hammering for a big, or a big hammering for a small. Something a lot of coaches in the league have used and has been really effective.
This is the scenario where he's saying everybody stay home.
The Lakers are familiar with this play, as they did the hammer play to tie this 2019-2020 season game against Mavs at the buzzer to go into overtime, where the Lakers ended up winning. Lakers finished with the #1 seed in the West and won the championship that year. We can see LeBron draw a double team from Kleber, but it was just a decoy and a mistake from Mavs defense, as the Lakers needed 3 to go into overtime. So even if LeBron just goes for a layup, they'd be down with not enough time. We can see Seth Curry, who was supposed to guard Danny Green, get caught in Dwight Howard's pick, leading to a wide open corner 3 where LeBron has an open passing lane to get the ball to, as he ultimately makes it 3 at the buzzer.
I am shocked. They will review this to see, but I am shocked that anybody would help as LeBron is going to the rim. A 2 did nothing. Boy, this unfolded very well for the Lakers. As LeBron's packing, you see Cleaver come over.
The same reason the hammer play was made for Darvin Ham with his ability to drive and kick it out to the best shooters like Ray Allen. In theory, the Warriors are built similar to that Bucks team, so they tried to use the same play to get an open three for Clay or an open shot for Wiggins, except LeBron had done this exact play before 3 years ago to win a game for the Lakers.
Now, two questions here for the Lakers. What are you switching on and off the ball? And then when will you give a foul?
Green throws it away. Green got up in the air and throws it into the hands of Davis. It's a jump ball with 5.1 seconds left. I'm not sure where Green thought there was a window, but once he left his feet.
Do you know how to beat it?
Man, you just got to be aware. Like, you see that shooter up top and that big kind of floating around the mid lane, that's when you know, hey, watch out for the hammer.
And a costly turnover.
Well, they're running a play to try to get Thompson down to the corner, the old hammer play with a back screen on the weak side, but he committed now.
Once Clay switches and Draymond starts to drive, LeBron immediately recognized the hammer play and so calls for Davis to switch to the off-ball moving Clay towards the corner three, while LeBron would screen Wiggins from both looking to intercept him if the pass is meant for him, or before Wiggins could even try to set a pick on Davis for Clay to get an open corner three shot. Draymond's already mid-drive and trying to get past Dennis Schroeder and doesn't expect Davis and LeBron to counter like this, and the ball ends up right into Davis's hands as Wiggins is blocked off with LeBron waiting in front for the pass to come right to him. Draymond is almost out of bounds already and so instinctively just hopes to throw it to the originally intended shooter, Clay, but it was already too late as both LeBron and Davis were ready and Davis got the steal right into his hands. Dennis Schroeder was quick to give the evil smirk to Draymond after the play call was countered, an iconic meme-worthy moment on top of all this. Lakers ended up closing out this pivotal Game 4 against the Warriors and ultimately closed out the series in 6. While it may not be surprising the Warriors and Lakers both made this playoffs, check out my other video about how this year is actually the first time in NBA history all California-based NBA teams made the NBA playoffs.